Hey everyone, it's Brian Rosen from Bevstrat in another one of our episodes of Meet the. And the, in any case, can be a supplier, a distributor, an importer, investment banker. In today's episode of Meet the, we've got a client of ours. Notorious Pink is a brand you may know. Paul G is the main man behind it. And Paul, first and foremost, welcome aboard.
Thank you for having us, Brian.
Yeah, of course, and welcome to the show, Graham. Tell us about your brand and tell us about kind of why you're in the wine business and why you want to be in the wine business.
That's a good question. I graduated college with a hospitality degree, and I structured my my work career around the beverage sector of the industry. And after a couple of years of working for a large company, actually Marriott, I decided to change my career and ended up working on Wall Street for about 17, 18 years. And the reason was I lived in a town, or I still do, where a good amount of the people, professionals in the town work on Wall Street. And it was just a more economical route for me at that time. I mean, the pay was higher. The learning structure was extremely aggressive, and I felt it was a good foundation. And after spending a number of years there, I decided to start looking into other opportunities outside of the industry and use my skills from Wall Street in other industries. So I had left early. I left in 2005 when most of my friends decided to leave in a lot later stage, but I didn't want to reinvent myself when I was, 45, 50 years old. I felt doing it, in late 30s, early 40s was the way to go.
Sure.
So I started consulting a number of different brands after dipping my toe into the industry on localized presence, almost very similar to what you're doing with your group in a way. And I would consult them on how to build their volume in a marketplace, how to have a relationship with a local distributor. Every brand that was in my local distributor or distribution network felt that once they put the brand in the distributor, they were off to make millions of dollars and the brand was going to be successful. And I quickly learned that the distributors don't really focus on small and upstart brands.
Wait, what? You mean distributors don't help like that? What?
Nope. So after learning the inner workings and the infrastructure of the distributors, I was really the extension of the supplier. I was the salesperson in the street. I would put brands in my backpack and walk through restaurants and liquor stores and accounts and sell and increase volume. For example, one of the first brands I ever started representing was a vodka, and they sold a -2 cases the first month I looked at their reports.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
-2 cases. And over the course of about 7 or 8 months, I had the brand selling 300 to 400 cases a month into retail and other accounts in the marketplace. Now, with that being said, I was not only the salesperson, I was the liaison. I was the marketing manager for the distributors. I was doing their presentations. I was consulting them on the amount of money they needed to spend in marketing and promotion in the marketplaces.
So that's great. Notorious Pink, which is the brand that we at Bevstrat, in full disclosure, you're a client of Bevstrat. And so we've got Infamous Gold, which Notorious Pink as well. And the final brand we carry, Scandalous One. So it's rosé season right now. Let's own that. Yep. And it'll be rosé season generally through Thanksgiving. It's actually stretching out. We're seeing rosés being picked up earlier in the Northeast here in Chicago and the colder states, starting earlier than May and finishing, if they finish in the December area. What are you seeing from your side, the history of rosé growth and why everyone needs to have kind of a rosé in their home bar or pick up a rosé at their local retailer?
When we introduced Notorious Pink in about 2015, the end of 2014, there was a huge surge in the rosé category. We luckily caught it. We didn't create it, but we were at the right time at the right place. And what we found out initially was that rosé is a lifestyle and a lifestyle brand or a category in the lifestyle side of the alcohol industry. The consumers that are drinking it perceive themselves to be in, like you said, in a very summery and a fun and a warm weather atmosphere. And that brings in joy and happiness. And we believe that that is how it started. And then once the millennials or the younger drinking environment, that segment of the industry started to catch on to the rosé as a drink of choice, We also found out that younger drinkers don't want to drink what mom and dad drink. They don't want to drink Johnny Walker Black or Johnny Walker Red. They don't want to drink their Cabernets from California. They want something new and exciting. And rosé is new and exciting. The wines are typically cleaner. They have lower residual sugars. You can drink more than 1 or 2 glasses of it and enjoy it during the day. It's refreshing.
In preparation for today, I enjoyed 1 or 2 or 4 glasses. That's correct.
So there are several factors that have made rosé what they are, and it's a combination of things. But overall, it's fun. It looks great. The colors are great. The pinks, the reds, the blush colors, and there is something of a lifestyle component into the rosé category. Which
do you have anything on the horizon in a production standpoint? Meaning that we're seeing at BevStrat, people are home entertaining more, obviously because of COVID. They're looking for more canned stuff. Is there anything do you see any changing of the packaging guard, if you will, on a go-forward basis? Or are we going to stick with these killer labels, these frosted bottles, these really good brand recognition visually bottles, and going to run that all to the finish line? What do you see coming in your world?
We believe that running with our current package and our value proposition with the wine the way it is the best plan for Notorious Wines. We're approached every day with the thought of, is it a can? Is it time to put a wine in a can? But
we know here in Illinois, as we sell the brand, that the reception to Notorious Pink and the other marks has been spectacular. What is the goal of the company kind of going forward? So let's call 2020 a half year, a stub year, as we say in financials, a stub year. You're really positioned quite well, frankly, to be this at-home sessionable brand. What do you want to see at the end of 2020, and what are your hopes for, I guess, 2021 going forward from a national footprint perspective?
Well, we've done a great job over the last 4.5 years of positioning the brand in a major retail footprint. We have an enormous amount of on-premise relationships, country clubs, golf clubs, restaurant groups. That's all great, but as we know, both of us, that has been sidecarred for the time being.
Sure.
So the retail footprint has been an enormous avenue for us to continue to not only generate business, but to get product in people's hands, as you said, at homes, through their liquor stores, through wine.com or any other electronic venue we sell. Our goal right now is to continue to grow our footprint. We actually opened up an enormous amount of new relationships over the course of the last 15 months, both on and off premise. And while some of them have been sidecarred, the others are starting to develop. And that includes the 2 new extensions, which you showed in the beginning of the video. Those are also now being rolled out in a mass way. But our goal is to capture our current business and the business that we believe other wine brands who don't have the staying power or have the positioning in the industry, some brands will fall by the wayside. And the retailers in these large footprints are going to look for the ones that are staying positioned properly at the right price with the right value proposition. So our goal is to always increase our volumes every year, but at this point in time is to capture some of those openings and those holes in the industry that we believe are going to occur because of the recent environment.
Smart. I mean, we often say treat these brands, and not just your brands, but any of the brands that we have on the show or any brands that we represent, which are hundreds. They're financial instruments, which could be why you guys are so successful. Don't fall in love with the brand, fall in love with the process. And if you're really good at the process, then the brand growth will come organically. So I think you guys are doing, I know we're having good success in Illinois with it, and I know nationally you guys are really doing quite well. You are in Illinois. What other key markets are you available in?
Our 2 biggest markets are New York, which is our lead market, and that's because we not only have 3 or 4 of our current managers and owners here, but New York is a very, very good rosé market, whether it's the Hamptons or whether it's New York City or the other outlying areas.
Sure.
Florida is our second biggest market, and we attribute that to not only the warm weather in a longer period of time, but it is a chain market. And the supermarkets and the chains help dramatically in having a really good distribution platform. So those are 2 very, very good markets for us. This Eastern Seaboard also seems to be a strength, a point of strength for us, whether it's now North Carolina, which we just put new distribution in, a major distributor there, South Carolina, all the way through New England and Massachusetts. We see a very consistent amount of order flow and brand awareness with consumers on the East Coast in general. And whether that's people from Massachusetts or New England or New York going down south in the different change of season, we think that probably has a very big part of that. Going a bit west, we are distributed in California and multiple other states. As I said, we're in 40-something states, but we still think that many of those markets are a year, 2, 3 behind what happens on the East Coast in many respects with trends, especially with wine. Also having a very West Coast-centric mindset out there, California wines. I think European wines in general are a bit secondary in many of those markets. Mm-hmm. So we are present there, and we're doing a bunch of business there. But there's a lot to be said. There's so much playing field we haven't covered there yet. That's why we believe we're nowhere near the finish line with the volumes and the things we could accomplish with Notorious Pink.
I love it. Well, look, you guys, it doesn't take any Mensa to realize that rosé is now, regardless of COVID, good brands do good things. Good brands that have good pricing, good packaging, good promotion, do good things, and consumers and accounts on and off premise, that resonates with them. So Paul, you're doing great. And we're so happy to sell you, but more importantly, you've got only this kind of trajectory. So that's super exciting. Thanks for coming on the show today. Very much appreciate it. Stay healthy, stay safe. And Notorious Pink is the brand. There are 2 other mark extensions for that. And do look for it all over America on your shelves. Brian Rosen, Bevstrat.